despite the fact that mainstream Thai media doesn't cover it. The poverty level in Pattaya has increased in the past weeks as a lack of tourism prevails. At our studios this morning, we give away food at 9 o'clock. By 5:15, upwards of 500 people were already queuing. This after a weekend that saw the release of our latest appeal for funds via a video on YouTube and social media. That raised 80,000 baht over the few days, which will see us through another week of supplies. But on behalf of all of those who give food out here, that's many, many people who've done it in the past, to queues of upwards of 1,000 people in numerous parts of the city, we continue to ask why the serious issue is never covered in the capital-based media outlets. As more groups stop giving out food due to either lack of funding or return to business, and donations decrease, all of which have come from non-Thais and in many cases their spouses, the question has to be what will be done when the food supplies run out, as very little is being done by others here. In other news, the government over the weekend reported 10 new coronavirus cases and no new deaths. All were returnees from abroad, which highlights the risk of opening to tourism too soon. The UEA, Kuwait, Russia and India are the countries from which the new cases were returning. They're now in total isolation, as all returnees serve 2 weeks quarantine here. Hand sanitisers, according to a consumer group, may well not contain the full 70% alcohol recommended for use. A survey of 39 brands saw 13 fail the test, and some see methanol used instead of medical alcohol. Effective alcohol-based hand gels must contain over 70% alcohol and should not dry out too quickly when used to give it enough time for the alcohol to kill germs on the skin. Jailbirds are getting visitors again, the numbers allowed are less, and the time to chat is halved. But at least they'll get to see their families again for brief visits. Strict controls in prisons around the country are in place for visitors, and visiting facilities are cleaned regularly. Asian nations are expected to be the first countries that Thailand welcomes back at some point as tourists and visitors. This is the Prime Minister instructed the Tourism and Sports Ministry to put a plan together. We're told to expect that the first groups of travellers to Thailand would be for meetings, incentive travel, conventions, exhibitions and health-conscious travellers. Meanwhile, at home and in Pattaya, and the rush of people to the beaches and Koh Larn Island has been bigger than expected. Those on the beaches were constantly reminded over the weekend to wear their masks. And Sunday saw the Deputy Transport Minister make a spot check at Bali High Pier, which was busy. And he's quoted as saying that despite the relaxation of the conditions for COVID control, everyone must still follow the preventive measures. And with the reminder, mitts, masks and meters, wash your hands, wear a mask and keep social distancing, and the Met Office promising highs today of 33, with the real feel of 40 dropping down to 28, a humid day with a good chance of storms at any time. That is the local and national news from Fab FM. For videos and of course to keep up with Fabulous Pattaya, visit alwayspattaya.com.